Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Horvat, and the next episode of Talk to the Expert is dealing with mental health in the workplace as we return to work following the pandemic. I can appreciate, and I think many people can appreciate, that the pandemic situation has put most workplaces in a difficult situation. They've had to react quickly, had to keep operations going, and in many cases have had to do so on a remote basis. People who didn't think they could work from home have had to do so. And now, quite frankly, there might be some concern amongst those same employees who are at home about having a concern about returning to work. It is definitely an unknown situation for some employees. Quite frankly, some people have just gotten used to working at home and are fearful of returning to work. Some of that fear may be born out of a concern about their safety in the workplace. How is their employer taking into consideration issues related to family status and childcare situations? Maybe they've made arrangements with respect to their spouses as to who is taking care of their children during a pandemic situation. All of these bear a striking pressure upon employees to now move back to work. So what can you do? How can you alleviate this concern and deal and respond to employees who may have a bona fide mental health situation in relating to the stress of having to adjust their lives once again, in this case, in a return to work? Best situation is to openly talk about it with your employees. As you give notice to them about returning to work, open the door to discussion about any concerns they might have. These concerns could be vaccine related. They could also be travel related. They could be related to hours of work and concerns related to closures of schools or the return of their children to a school environment that is not yet settled. All of these can bring to bear certain issues of accommodation under the Human Rights Code. Open communication with these employees in order to determine whether or not they have made viable options with respect to keeping their options open, or at least having alternate childcare relationships, or discuss with them opportunities that may be modifying your workplace and their hours of work so as to continue having them attend at work while at the same time dealing with family status situations or childcare or elder care situations at the workplace. Open communication and demonstration of good faith on both parts, both the employee and the employer, is going to serve both parties well with respect to considering a return to work. All of these issues can come to play with respect to long-term absences. If a long-term absence situation arises, work with your employees on alternate compensation methods. They may be entitled to continued long-term disability leave pursuant to your insurance provider, or they may have certain government programs such as unemployment insurance or employment insurance to cover off short-term absences at a time when they're able to come back to work. In this case, open communication and policy considerations are going to be the utmost as people try to navigate their own return to work in a turbulent situation. But as we come out of this together, as the pandemic situation subsides, a more robust return to work in normal conditions can be required of employees as they transition back to full-time operations at your workplace. Thank you.